The Best versus Stats.
Down again in the series to the bottom of the map, we have The Best. He chose Polar Knight to be his map, now that he lost the first game. His Reaper opening did not work out against Stats. Well, let's see what he can do in game number 2 against his Protoss opponent. Starting to the top in blue, we have our Protoss player. And, well, let's see what he is up against in game number 2. The first game, after the initial defense, was highly stacked in his favor, and he didn't make any major mistakes, so took the game quite easily. But what does the Best have planned in game number 2 now for him?
Let's find out. Gas first again. No way he does the same build. No way. He cannot.
To be honest, I would have the best time ever, pun intended, if you would go for the same build again. And this time micro his heart out and take it. And Stats probably, sees it, identifies it, and is like, yeah, I was up against this early game, no problem, no problem. And then suddenly there's like the most insane micro going down, and he takes it. That would
what I'd like to see maybe is a variation of this where he puts his second barracks like proxied or something where he can get the Reapers out faster too, or, well, I think he's just...
To come back to what you just said, I don't think he's going to do the same thing. I agree with you there.
I mean, with this opening, he could still definitely just go for Cloak Banshees, which would be something that most Protoss players not expect in the current meta. He's going to see this barracks and be like, "Whoa, this is late. Okay, you're doing the same thing possibly." Even leaves, no, he cannot leave. He has to go and check for the second barracks. If he sticks around all the way, he can see whether it's a factory or not. And I'm actually a little bit surprised he leaves, because the only thing he gains from leaving is saving the probe, which is much less important than actually seeing what the Best is doing. But he leaves, and the Best is... Don't tell me he's going to proxy something with that SUV. That's way too far. Okay, there's the factory, but very late. Oh, this build is not crisp. His factory's way too late. I think he was considering proxying it, and then he realized he couldn't. So now his factory starts like after he's almost 50 gas in the bank extra, which means that the gas first they made didn't actually really even help him. But for Stats, he doesn't actually know what he's up against, which is kind of odd because he could have easily scouted that. I would have lost the probe for it, but at least would have known it was coming. And I think he's going to actually do his own proxy. Meanwhile, with that pylon we have over there.
Nah, the probe went to the right side, so he's not going to proxy anything down there. He has it as a warp-in point.
Oh, yeah, it's not there anymore yet.
Yeah, I was a little bit weirded out because at the beginning I really thought he would proxy. We've seen, for example, this would also be a position where you can proxy an Oracle if you really want to, but at the same time, with him moving away right after he dropped the pylon, was less and less likely that we would really see a proxy there. For now, we have the Best going straight into the starport, but he wants to go into Widowmine drops, already building the first one here. And we still have the Terran player trying to find if there is a pylon, and he is just going to
see it.
This.
Yep. This is awesome for the Best, because this is going to hurt the production of this Protoss point. Going to force 100 extra minerals to be spent to replace that pylon. And if there was any possibility of Stats warping in units there for harass later, it's now gone. Unless he replaces it, which he does have a probe still on the watchtower he could send across to make a new one. This attack could do a lot of damage. It's all about whether or not Stats realizes it's coming. He doesn't have a forge, nor does he have robotics, so detection is going to be a problem.
Oh yeah.
Starts another pylon, like I mentioned.
Yeah, it's especially going to be... he's adding actually another gateway. It's a big problem for him since he is also very occupied. Oh, he's adding more and more gateways, and that means he will have no detection for a really long time.
Yeah.
And that medivac is already completed, so as soon as that one Widow Mine burrows in the mineral line, that's going to be horrible for him. And that's actually 2 of them. That's even worse.
Goes for both. Doesn't bring any Marines with this. Keeps those at home. Mothership core is spotted here. There's the robotics, but it's a bit late, so he's not going to have detection right away. But if he pulls his probes and makes sure he doesn't take too much damage, he will be able to defend this. You know, like he has to split them and then pull them away right when the second shot comes off. I think he'll get 2 shots off with Widow Mines before the Observer is ready. And here we go. Boosting into the main base. And already immediately the pull and the overcharge almost kills that first Widow Mine.
Well, gets only 1 shot off with that. Where's the second? I'm a little bit surprised he didn't simply drop the second Widow Mine at the second
Yeah, he's playing with fire here with 2 Stalkers. He will save it, I think, barely. Yeah. Should target the Stalker.
Not too late. But gets 2 kills, so 3 kills so far. Has a delayed expansion on the other hand, and back at home the Marines are starting to move out, and that's at the worst time possible since Stats... Is he going in? Is he trying to go for the natural? He apparently just double checks. What are those Stalkers doing? There they go. Going up the ramp now. Another hit.
Yep, there's the overcharge finishing off that. But yeah, these Stalkers are going to delay this natural. He might be able to save it, but it's going to be a hard call.
That is absolutely horrible for the best right now.
But how much damage can he get done with these units that are coming across right now? He's got 2 Hellions, Medevacs to support. He's going right into the main base, and these Marines are going to do a lot of damage. He's going to wish he had those Stalkers at home. It's all about the Mothership Core here. Doesn't have enough energy for anything but a Time Warp, and he might just Time Warp the ramp to slow this down, but he's going to lose the Mothership Core.
Uh-oh, he can't lose that. Here comes the Time Warp. He's losing it, and now we have only Stalkers against Marines with good micro. He can do a lot here, but he has not enough units to cancel on the command center at the bottom. The Stalkers are actually pinned up against the wall. Nope, there's a gap that they can walk through. But yeah, the Marines are going to die eventually.
Targeting down a lot of Harvesters, though, and even going to get this Warping and Zealot, it looks like. The defense back at home will actually commence with the Siege Tank coming out. He's just targeting down one more Stalker. I don't know if that was worth the trade, though, losing all those units.
It absolutely was not worth the trade, since we have a 2-base economy for stats versus a single base for the best.
26 to 20 Harvesters.
This is absolutely not worth it.
If he kept the CC alive, I think it would have been okay, but he did not, obviously.
Exactly, he didn't. So with the command center, I agree, then it would be alright. But now look at this. This is a 9 Harvester lead that he has on 2 bases, 2 mineral lines saturated. As soon as he puts those probes up and the mineral line again, he's going to be in such a great spot. The only thing that keeps the income for the best high now is that he dropped a couple of mules in his own mineral line. That's it. His expansion is so late.
I feel like I want to give the best credit, but there's just no... there's like no... He's not giving me a lot of opportunities. I'm like that professor who's just like, listen, man, like, if you just turn in one more homework assignment, I could pass you, but like...
How about an A for effort?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he's a ram running into a brick wall, man. He's got a lot of power in his pushes. He's got a lot of, guts to actually execute these builds, but...
Well, the thing is, we have the stats now in a position where he doesn't have a lot of army out there. The drop might be able to do something for the best, but it's all about stats defense right now, and currently doesn't really look like there's going to be a lot of damage done. There are 3 Stalkers already. We have Colossi production started pretty soon, and another round of warp-ins would be quite easy for him to handle. He has the income in the middles to do that.
Basically, the best is like, if you're out on the map for some weird reason, I can get damage here, so I guess I'll go check. But there's... Is he just going to walk across the map and attack with these siege tanks? I think it could work. I mean, it could be like an okay idea, but it's not going to work. It's not going to end the game. It's not going to do enough damage. There's a Colossus out, and he knows that. That's coming. It's coming. He saw the bay. He's going to try to make something happen here. This would have been much stronger in Wings of Liberty, that's for sure. He's been seen here.
Seriously, if he goes for this, he might as well pull the SCVs.
I actually agree with you.
Because if that doesn't work, and he loses his army, then it's over.
He at least needs some SCVs to help repair his siege tanks, or to maybe try to bunker at the bottom of the ramp to fall back to. I don't know what he thinks is going to happen here. Force fields are going to delay. The Colossus is out, but he has a lot of Marines here.
He doesn't have range with the Colossus. That's one of the big issues.
There are a lot of Marines here.
This has to do damage, and it could. It's all about, like, are you able to get a second Colossus out? As I said earlier, there are not a lot of units. Where's the photon overcharge? Does he have the energy?
5 more seconds.
5 more?
And
it's a little bit iffy still, 4 stats, but he should be able to delay a bit more. And now here comes the photon overcharge in the main base now.
Yeah, but in the main base and not at the natural, so keep that in mind.
Well, he has the Colossus at the natural, so...
Oh, these Marines need to turn around.
And the second Colossus is out any second. Also, range is about to be done. That's going to help a lot. He's just trying to stall. He's trying to buy himself some time. That's all that stats need here.
Yep.
He knows that if he survives this, he has the better tech and he has the better economy.
The best, if he can get this Nexus somehow, some way, maybe. The siege tank's doing a lot of damage. The Marines split here. There is a stem, but there's so much DPS in those Colossi. This is what I was talking about. No way, no how this wins it for him.
Range is done, and that is the end of this push. And suddenly we have the best. Game. Behind in economy, behind in tech, behind in army. Things are not looking good.
And this is just... It's exactly, if I speak 100% frankly, exactly what I expected from this series. The best playing off aggressive builds 2 games in a row that Stats laughs at and then wins the game. Because this is kind of how the best's career went when he was actually falling out of the GSL, and then he never played in it again. He was always on the roster of FX Open of FOU, and then never played because he was never put out. You would see him come out like 1 out of 10 matches where he would do an all-in and then lose. And I really like this guy. That's why I call him the villain, because he's like the bad guy who's always going to lose at the end of the movie. But I want to give him credit. Well, there's nothing I can say that this game is already over, and he's still going to try. He's still going to try to be aggressive. Even with those extra Marines, when I saw the push coming across, I thought, no way. Then I remembered, okay, he still has a whole medevac full of Marines. But it's the Colossi. There's no combat shields on those Marines. It's not going to happen. No Marauders in the mix.
And Stats pays it patiently now. He doesn't even overcommit and just try to end the game here. So he pays it patiently. He's getting his tech out. He's going for double upgrades. Goes for the blink. The only thing that he does really to put a bit of pressure onto the best is the Warp Prism, and that alone might already do quite some damage.
Look at this.
So, I mean, he's trying, but that's, as I said, A for effort. Everything else is... Hannibal would be disappointed. There's no plan that is coming together in this game.
No, definitely not.
This is not an A-team game.
Here comes a Warp Prism in the main base, and he's not prepared. Golden Stormrage would be happy.
Yeah.
He's gonna actually save all of the Zealots too, and there's not enough anti-air. This is cute, but it's wrong.
Yeah, it's cute, but it's not successful. Viking production has now started. 2 bases against the third count. Look at that tech for stats. Like Templar Archive, more Colossi, Blink done, +2 armor started.
Well, this is one tiny step forward. 4 Zealots in the Warp Prism. That's 600 resources gone. That's like a small victory. The best does have 3 CCs now, but he's got no upgrades. He's like really, really hard on that assimilator, but he still doesn't get it.
I think he has an upgrade. What does he have?
He has +1 attack
plus
only.
+1 attacking
versus
+1 armor
1/1.
now. Again, 2 started already, so with Chrono Boost. So yeah,
it's just. This is one of those games where if you're new to StarCraft, you look at this and you look at the supplies and you're like, no, he still has a chance. But if you look at everything else, the infrastructure, if this push does not like kill the third base or somehow the entire army, this composition even itself is not even a normal one. It's got siege tanks in it. It's
less Vikings than Colossi is usually a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, he has 25 Marauders to 10 Marines, so he's doing that right. Like, that's exactly what he does want in this. But the Zealots, with charge, if charge finishes, are going to be able to push the Marauders back for the Colossi to do their damage at the back. And well, this is a bleak game for the best. That's a bleak little sunrise over there, or whatever we were looking at. Foggy outcrop of rocks.
I still think that the best needs a mustache.
I would like it, even if a fake one. This is a lot of Marauders, man. Actually,
it's a lot of Marauders, but it's also a lot of Colossi.
I want to give him credit, man. Can he? He's got the SCVs with him this time.
It's all about the Colossi.
A lot of units. The Stalkers blink over here.
Yeah, but now charge is also done, and those Colossi, they are going to town. The best with a lot of firepower here.
It's just too much DPS on the Colossi. No armor upgrades for his Marauders. The siege tanks don't have any upgrades either, and he's going to get pushed back, and that literally this time will be game. He's going to have to type out GG.
And another 2-0. This time the Protoss player takes it, meaning that we are going to see Supernova going up against Stats in the winners match and Koka versus the best in the losers match. This is going to be the next 2 best-of-3s that you can expect here in our group at the GSL Code A. The Stats playing a good game here. The best with aggression in game number 1 and game number 2, both times shut down.
Yeah, that was really well played by Stats. A very solid defensive style against what the best threw at him over and over again. The best really is like the villain in the TV show who like has a plan. He's like, just wait and see, but it just doesn't work.
The Korean Tom Selleck.
Who's that?
Tom Selleck?
Tom Selleck? Like S-A-L-A-E-K?
I don't know, maybe I pronounced it wrong. Yeah, Selleck might be like the guy with the mustache.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Plays in like Blue Bloods and 1,000 other shows, played in Friends a little bit, so...
Yeah, no, I know.
That's exactly how he looks like, the Korean version of him. So if he grows older, that's exactly how he looks like. He just needs the mustache.
Yeah, you probably said his name like more correctly than me. I just didn't recognize it at first. But like...
Yeah, but that guy, so he looks exactly like him, I feel.
He really is like...
I know there are a lot of people out there who are actually really good with Photoshop, and if they can just draw him a bit of a mustache and then put a
I've seen a lot of Photoshops of him.
or whatever next to him, that would be the same person, just older.
I've seen like a lot of Photoshops of the best, and there are some really good ones out there.
As is, though, he didn't win a single map so far. That's a fate that he shares with Koka. The both of them will go up against each other in the losers match, and our winners match is going to come up in 5 minutes here at the GSL Code A. It's going to be a Terran versus Protoss, with Supernova having a chance to advance to Code S, being the 3rd Terran player to qualify. So we're going to be back in 5. Stay tuned, guys.